Okay, so today is the introduction session for PEGA PRPC. So PEGA is basically a application development tool. Okay, so generally we have so many programming languages are there for designing web applications, but PEGA is also a tool. It is also a development tool. So mostly we can say PEGA is a automated tool, automated development tool. Okay, and using this PEGA we can design any kind of enterprise web applications. Okay, without writing any coding. Okay, without writing any coding, we can develop or we can design web applications. Okay. So internally inside the PEGA tool, they have given all the features. Okay, what are the requirements for designing a web application? All the features and built-in functionalities are everything added in this PEGA PRPC application. So by using them, we can design any kind of web applications. Okay. So PEGA, we can also call it as a tool, or we can also call it as application. Okay, so PEGA is just a tool, or we can also call it as a application, and it is also called as a Java based application. See why it is called as a Java based application means see, in the early stages means when this PEGA application is started around 1983 or something. So they some set of Java developers designed this application, okay, for their own requirement. Like a, I can say like a middleware tool purpose, they created one sample application and they named it as PEGA. Okay, so in the early stages, it is designed using Java programming. So from then, it is called as a Java-based application. Means what are the PEGA tool we have or PEGA application we have that is designed in Java in the early stages. So right now, maximum for what are the features are for adding the functionalities within this PEGA application. They are using mostly PEGA only they are using. Okay, in the early stages means they use Java. But now in the current sessions in the early stages means now in the current versions if you take all the features and functionalities are added using PEGA PRPC only. Okay, even PEGA application also designed in PEGA only. Some for graphical part and all they may use the PEGA team may use some portion of Ajax or something like that. Okay, so for graphical part and all. So apart from that, so even PEGA application is also designed in PEGA only for adding the built-in features for the template and all. So we have, so they are using PEGA only. And as a developer, okay, we will be using this tool for designing web applications. As a developer, we will not use any single line of code also. Okay, so we will not use any Java, we will not use any programming or anything in this PEGA application. Okay, so all the features are built in the application here. So depend upon the requirement we get from the client, we will be using those features and we are going to design the web applications. Okay, so just the name is a Java based application, but at the time of developing the applications, we will not use any Java programming, or you don't have to know any concepts in Java also. Okay, without any prerequisites, without any knowledge, anyone can learn this tool. So just you will be navigating like it's a like a totally drag and drop tool. Okay, so totally PEGA is a drag and drop tool. So totally navigation will be there. Okay, point and click and drag and drop will be, the more options are related to this design will be drag and drop and point and click. Okay, so only thing is how to use the features in this PEGA tool. Okay, so when to use and how to use it, you know, you can work on any real-time project. Okay, so in the training process we'll be covering one like a, not an entire project, some module I'll take, a small module I'll take, and I'm going to implement all the features in that module. Okay, so how to design all these things in this training process we'll be learning. Okay, so what are the different features we have in this tool and how to use them in the application development we'll be learning in this training process. Okay. So first thing is no need to have any prerequisites, no need to have, so anyone can learn this thing without any knowledge, without any knowledge on Java, without any knowledge on any Oracle database. Okay, we can learn this PEGA PRPC. So first of all, PEGA is a product of PEGA systems. So PEGA is a product of PEGA systems. Okay, so they have only PEGA product. They don't have any other products. So the sole owner is PEGA systems. And PEGA is not a open source tool. PEGA is not a open source tool. Means it is a licensed tool. So any company want to use this PEGA for application development, they need to get the license from PEGA systems. Okay, so like 1 or 2 years license will be there. So after that again they will be renewing the license. Okay, any company want to develop applications in PEGA PRPC, they must be they must take the license from PEGA systems and they can develop the projects using PEGA PRPC. And now what they are doing is, so first of all, the in nowadays what they are doing is, so big companies will have the license and they are giving like a, for the small companies they are giving the contract. Okay, so even right now maximum even not only MNCs, even small companies are also using this PEGA for application development. So what they are doing is, so they are taking a subcontract from the MNC companies and they are doing the projects. So now everywhere, not only in India, everywhere in the country they are using this PEGA application. Okay. So that's actually it's occupies the Java market, entire Java market will be occupied by this PEGA PRPC. So because nowadays everything is automated, so PEGA is a automated development tool where the thing is mostly reusability will be more in this PEGA PRPC. No need to do the same thing again and again. Okay, so some manual work we'll do, but what are the work we done, it can be reused in the application. So the thing is in PEGA reusability will be more. Okay, same thing no need to create again and again. So we can reuse the things. So what is automation? So once we create anything, we have to reuse that one. So where automation occurs here, and PEGA is built in. It's a automated tool. What are the work we done, it will automatically convert into the programming in the backend. Okay, so like that. So PEGA will have all the built-in features and all the requirements for application development. Okay, so what are those things? Okay, so we'll be covering day by day. We'll be getting all these features in a single session. We cannot cover entire tool. So one by one, step by step, we'll be covering all these options in this training process. And another thing is, so what is this PRPC? So PEGA don't have any full form. It's just a PEGA systems. It's a product of PEGA systems, and it is not a open source tool. It is a licensed tool which is marketed by PEGA systems. And coming to PRPC, so when we say PEGA application, we can commonly say PEGA PRPC application. We can say, okay. So what is this PRPC means? It's a platform or portal. Okay, so generally for designing the applications and deploying the applications, we'll be using some portals. Okay, PEGA also contains three kinds of portals, like a developer portal, and here actually in the latest versions, developer portal, admin portal, and business analyst portal, all the three are comes under a single roof only. Okay, all these three roles will come into the single portal. Okay, in the previous versions means we have a separate portal for admin, separate portal for development, separate portal for business analyst part. But in from 7 version, all these three are added in a single portal. Okay, so actually what is a portal here? Portal is a platform given for us, for the developers, for designing and deploying the applications. In order to design applications and deploy the applications, PRPC is nothing but a portal. Actually in PEGA terms, we can also call it as designer studio also we used to call. So we will be using different names. Okay, PRPC is nothing but a platform we can call, portal we can call, or in PEGA terms, we used to call it as designer studio. So means designer studio means it's some kind of portal which is given for the developers for deploying, for designing and deploying the applications in the PEGA PRPC platform. Okay, I'll show you. I'll at the end of this session I'll show the tool also. I will look. It's a one single tool. No need to install any multiple softwares here. Once we configure PEGA in your system, everything is integrated in the tool itself. Okay, every design, anything in the application, we are going to configure within the tool only. So there is no need to install multiple softwares here. Everything is integrated in a single setup. And okay, so after this PEGA PRPC, so actually we can also call PEGA applications as BPM applications. So what is this BPM is? Business Process Management. Okay, one more thing is PRPC contains a full abbreviation is there. The abbreviation for PRPC is PEGA Rules Process Commander. PEGA Rules Process Commander. Actually, what is PEGA Rules Process Commander means? So PEGA rules are nothing but some inbuilt functionalities. Okay, so PEGA rules are nothing but some inbuilt functionalities like what are the features we have in the application. Okay, so those all those things are nothing but PEGA rules. Actually, we can also call them as object oriented rules. Object oriented rules. And process commander is nothing but some built-in storage area. In order to store all these rules in the application, process commander is a storage area. So combining these two things, okay, PEGA rules process commander is nothing but a one platform which is used by the developers for designing the applications and deploying the applications. Okay. Actually, see one thing is what are the things we can do using Java programming language. Okay, same thing we can do in PEGA also. Okay, so PEGA is also application development tool. But what is the difference between Java and PEGA is in Java we used to develop web applications with programming. All the coding will be there and we'll be combining different softwares. Okay, so different things will install. And PEGA also the work will be same, but the thing is the work procedure will be different here. So same web applications whatever we design in Java, same thing we can design in PEGA also, but here the work environment will be totally different. Here in Java we'll be using object oriented libraries, but same thing in PEGA we used to call as object oriented rules here. Okay, in Java if you want to design an application means object oriented libraries will be using, but here in PEGA we'll have internally inside the application we'll be having object oriented rules. All the rules are nothing but some inbuilt functions, methods, controls, layouts, templates. Okay, so all the built-in functionalities, built-in tools, built-in widgets. Okay, so all these things are nothing but object-oriented rules in PEGA, and all those things are stored in a repository called inside the application. These are stored under the process commander. Okay, so that is PEGA is a just a tool name, and PRPC is the name of the platform. So combining these two things we used to call as PEGA PRPC. Okay. And I told you one more thing is these PEGA applications we can also call them BPM applications. So why this name came to this PEGA means actually BPM or CRM anything are same only common. So maybe they'll be, but internally they'll be using the term as BPM, or sometimes we can also call as CRM applications also we can call. So but mostly we used to term them as BPM or CRM we used to term. So internally BPM or CRM is nothing but a methodology which is part of PEGA PRPC setup. Okay, so generally in the backend the BPM is a methodology. It will monitor how the business is connected, how the connections are created in the application, how the flows are configured, how the data flows within the organization or within the application. All these things will be monitored by this business process management or CRM. Okay, so these are internal tool. It's internal part of the application. It is a built-in suite which comes with a PEGA PRPC setup. Okay, so BPM is a built-in suite which is part of the PEGA PRPC setup. Okay, so no need to have any knowledge on this. It's just a methodology. It will control and it will monitor in the backend. It will organize everything in the application in the backend, like how the data flows in the application, how the connections are managed. Okay, how internal applications are connected and how external applications are connected. Everything will be monitored and managed by this methodology. Okay, and internally PEGA contains PEGA will be using a methodology called Scrum methodology. In maximum, they'll be using Scrum type of methodology they'll be using. So methodology, no need to have any knowledge on that. You can find that information in the Google also. Okay. So right now we'll be dealing. So this methodology, you don't no need to have any idea on the methodology or BPM. Okay. So regarding the BPM and all, it's internal suite, right? As a developer, no need to worry. You will not take care about any of this BPM methodology or management. It's internal suite which is part of PEGA PRPC setup. So PEGA systems will take care about all the configuration and everything. So you will be working under the PEGA PRPC tool. Okay. And inside that BPM is just a suite, inbuilt suite which is part of the setup. So no need to worry about this, whether it is a BPM applications or CRM applications. You'll be working as a developer only. Okay. You'll be using the PEGA PRPC tool and you'll be working on the applications depending on the client requirement. So these three things combinedly we used to call as PEGA PRPC, BPM tool or BPM applications. And PEGA supports all the domains in the market. Okay, if you take what are the domains we support in Java programming, same domains it will support in PEGA PRPC also. Okay, so like healthcare, marketing, finance, banking sector, insurance sector. Okay, so any government sector, life sciences. So in all the domains PEGA products are there, and most of the products will be from the clients will be from UK and US. Okay, and any right now I can say most of the market is in the healthcare and banking sector and finance sector, and remaining 50% will be occupied by the remaining domains. Okay, so we can develop any kind of products or any kind of applications by using this PEGA PRPC softwares. Okay, and no need to have any knowledge on the domain also here. Okay, any domain we use, the browser will be same, the application design format will be same, the way of using the PEGA options will be same. Okay, so if you work on one project, you can work on any project in the real time. Okay, if you know how to use these options in the PEGA application, we can work on any project in the real time. So now I'll show a small PPT on this. What are the things we discussed? We'll have a detailed overview on that. So the first of all, this PEGA started in the year 1983. Okay, and it has various customers in various domains and various sectors. So same way as I discussed, right? PEGA customers are in different domains like financial, insurance, healthcare, media, and government sectors. And what is this PEGA PRPC BPM means? So PEGA, first of all, it's a Java-based application, and it is a software is a licensed product. Okay, which is marketed by PEGA systems. And internally part of this PEGA product, Smart BPM is a part of this PEGA PRPC setup. Okay, so that will be taken care by the PEGA system server. And PEGA rules process command is nothing but a some inbuilt storage area. So it is nothing but a object-oriented rules engine which contains all the built-in features and functionalities. And process command is a pre-layered configuration which contains all these rules in the application. And BPM is a some user interactive tool which is part of the PEGA PRPC configuration. So combining all these things, we used to call it as PEGA PRPC BPM or CRM application. And in detail, what this PRPC will do is, so I told you, it is used for designing the applications and deploying the applications. Okay, so PEGA PRPC is a platform for building and deploying the BPM or CRM or different kinds of applications. Okay, so any kind of applications, whatever we design in this PEGA, so we'll be using the same portal. Okay, any kind of application or any kind of domain, the portal will be same for PEGA PRPC. Okay, and in this, it will automate the work. What are the type of application we design? So everything will be drag and drop and point and click. Okay, so and what it will do is it will automate the work and automate the programming. So mostly PEGA is an automated tool. What are the work we do? So automatically templates will be there, widgets will be there. Whatever we define in that or what are the parameters we pass, everything will be out of the work we do, everything will be automated in PEGA. Okay, and no need to write any coding here. Without writing any coding, So we can design enterprise applications in PEGA PRPC. So that is the purpose of this PEGA PRPC tool. So the main purpose is it will automate the work and automates the programming in PEGA application development. And what is BPM means? It's a methodology. So same thing, it will manage the workflows in the organization and increase the performance of the applications, and it will operate the day-to-day operations in the business. Okay? And it is in this PEGA BPM is termed as one of the best BPM tool in the current market. If you compare any other BPM tools, so PEGA is one of the top most BPM tool in the current market. See, even small BPM tools also termed as means, for example, I mean to say even middleware tools also considered as BPM tools only. I can say there are some hundreds of BPM tools are there, but when we compare the standards or when we compare the features with PEGA, PEGA is one of the top most BPM tool in the current market. So there is no competition in this sector right now. So it is one of the top tool in the top automated application development tool in the current market. And what this business process management will do means same thing, it will control how the business is connected, how the data and information flows in the organization, how the connection between the people are created, how the connection between internal applications and external applications. All these things will be monitored and managed in the backend by this business process management. Okay. So it will incorporate planning of the application, designing, building, operating, maintaining, and improving the business process. All these things will be taken care by this business process in the backend. So for every application, it's inbuilt suite which comes with a PEGA setup. And there are some advantages over other technologies. So PEGA, actually this is not only BPM advantages, I mean to say PEGA PRPC BPM advantages. Okay. So in PEGA, we can develop applications in a faster way because here everything is given, all the templates are given, all the features are given. So the time taken to develop an application is very less. And also the production costs are also very less in PEGA. And apart from that, we have so many advantages out there. The errors will be very less in PEGA because manually we'll be creating few things in this application. So manual work will be very less. So automatically the number of errors in the application development also very less. So it will increase the automatically in automated development. Efficiency will be more, performance will be more. Okay, business risk will be very less. Security also will be more. So when we compare with traditional programming languages, so if you compare this automated tool, so here the advantages and features will be more, and also for both the clients and organizations also will be benefited because the time taken for development is very less. Suppose same project if you are developing in Java and same it is implemented in PEGA. Suppose in Java application, if it is developing in Java means it will take 2 years. Same thing in PEGA we can complete in 10 to within 10 months we can complete. So like that, here the development cost will be the development time will be very less. At the same time, the production costs are also very less. So both the clients and organizations get benefit with this thing. So right now that's the reason maximum all the clients and all the companies are moving to automated tools like PEGA. Okay. And in the PEGA applications, they will categorize the entire development into different parts. Okay. So like they'll divide each and everything like a separate building block. So here only few are mentioned like that, so many things will be there. So user interface, business logic, process, data storage and integrations are some of the important categories. So like that we'll be having so many things: administration, security, okay, organization, management, application development, okay. So like that there are so many elements will be added in this application, okay. So as a developer, we'll be working under all these things. Under the user interface, we'll be designing the UI thing, graphical parts and all will have. All the user interface forms will create. Under the business logic, we'll define the logic and everything within the application. If you want to implement any coding part, coding means there will not be any coding. PEGA contains some predefined logical methods will be there. Directly we'll be using those methods in the application. So process means workflow diagrams. Data storage means data model. So integration means different services, connectors, configuration will be there. So all the integration services and connectors are also inbuilt in the application. So like that, In PEGA applications, everything is automated. All the features are added in the application. Just we have to use those features and build the complex applications in PEGA PRPC. So when I show the tool, you can understand. And why PEGA means we have so many programming languages are there, but what is the purpose of using PEGA again means? So here the main thing is PEGA in PEGA applications there is totally 0% coding will be there. Okay, so there will be no coding. So entire design will be done in the drag and drop and point and click format. So the main reason for choosing this PEGA in the real time is so the coding is 0% and everything is automated here. Okay, so that's the reason. So most of the companies now prefer for this PEGA application development, PEGA for the application development, and also the production costs are also very less. That is also the main reason. Okay. So that's the reason they prefer Java, means they prefer PEGA over the other programming languages. And there are so many advantages, same like how the advantages or how the features we have in PEGA. Here we can develop applications in a faster way with a complete platform, and so many forums will be there. Actually PEGA also contains some forum called PEGA PDN. So developers have any questions or anything, they can post in the forum. So immediately they will get the response from the different forum platforms. And also we will have a 24/7 support team will be there. Any issues if you face, you can immediately post them. Like in a email, mostly email support will be there. Okay, so you can send an email, you'll get a reply from them with the different kinds of solutions. Okay, so like that, PEGA has means as a developer, the work environment and the task, what are the tasks we do in the real time, it will be very, compared to other programming languages, the work environment will be very simple and easy to design also. Okay, so for the developers the work will be very simple and very easy to develop in the applications. And in the application okay, so there are so many BPM tools I told you. Even IBM only contains some 50 small BPM tools, but all are middleware tools only. Okay, if you say major BPM tools, Oracle is one of the major BPM tool. Lombard is also a major BPM tool, but if you take the competition wise, there is no competition for PEGA because the features wise or the functionality wise, so PEGA is far better than any other BPM tools in the current market. Okay, so there is no competition in the BPM category for PEGA PRPC. And coming to the architecture, basic architecture for using this PEGA, so basically it will be working on all the Windows platforms, and even in real time also in all the companies they will be using Windows only. Apart from that, it supports Linux and Unix also, but they will not use in the real time. So maximum they'll be using this PEGA PRPC in the Windows operating systems. And along with PEGA PRPC setup, so few things will be automatically configured. That is database. Java also will be installed in the backend because as some features are added in Java, right, in the PEGA application. So automatically Java is part of the PEGA PRPC setup. Okay, an application server will be installed, so it will support all the application servers. So depend upon the client requirement, they can select the which database is required and which application server is required. So they can select for the project development. So means PEGA supports all the databases in the market and all the application servers in the market, and all this access will be there with the PEGA systems. So PEGA systems only will give the access to the database, and it will give the access to the application server. So when the companies took the license for application development, right? So all the database access and server access will be given by the PEGA systems only. So depend upon the license, how many developers are working, okay, how many team members are there, and how many projects they are developing in that company. Accordingly, the license cost will be there, okay, and which database they are accessing for the application development, and which application server they are accessing for application development. Accordingly, the license cost will be there for the PEGA projects. Okay, so what are the access means basic architecture? So they will be working on the Windows platform with one database and one application server. Okay, every project will have one database configuration and one application server configuration, but all this access directly at the time of designing this access will be getting directly from the PEGA systems only. Okay, so the database access and application server access will be getting directly from the PEGA system sectional server. And apart from that, PEGA also contains some frameworks. Okay, depending upon the requirement, they can select some frameworks also, but mostly all the companies will be using the development from the scratch only. Okay, so actually, what the application will create will be created as a new framework. That one I'll tell you about the framework, how to generate the framework layers. Okay, how to select the implementation classes and all. I'll show it in the application setup thing. Okay, so this framework is also a part of the PEGA PRPC software. So combining all these things, so this is the basic structure for the PEGA application. And automatically Java also get installed in the backend as part of this configuration. And these are all the again different domains we have. It will support by PEGA PRPC. And compared to the right now, the latest version is 7.2. So right now in the companies they're using 7.1 and 7.2, both they're using. Okay, and these features are compared to the 6 version. I'm saying what are the new features added in 7. So mostly these are comparing with 6 version, these features are added. Okay, so about the differences between the versions, okay, and what are the features added in the current versions and all, in the coming sessions I'll cover. Even if I cover also, you cannot understand these things. Okay, when I discuss about, when I start the practicals after few sessions, I'll cover all these sessions. Okay, all these features I'll cover them. Generally in day by day sessions, when we use the options, you'll get all these options. At the time also I will discuss about them. So even though if I discuss these terms also, you cannot understand. So when I open the application and after a few sessions, I will cover all these features and differences. Okay. So these features I'm comparing with 6 version to 7 version. And coming to the versions, so these are all the previous and current versions. Right now in the companies they're using 7.1 and 7.2 they're using. There is no much difference between 7.1. Just 5% difference will be there. The differences I'll cover later in the coming sessions. So I'll be giving the training on 7.2 so that automatically any company are using 7.1 also you can work. That is also not an issue. Okay. If you currently train on 7.2, you can work on 7.1 version also. And right now they are not using 6.3 version. So either 7.1 or 7.2 they are using. Okay. So I'll give some basic idea on 6 version also. Just one session it is sufficient for the differences and all. I'll give a basic difference between 6.3, 7.1 and 7.2. So these three versions I'm going to compare. So below this 6.3 nobody will ask about the other version. So these are old versions. 4x, 5.4, 5.5, 6.1, 6.2. These are all other versions. So these are not required for you. Up to from 6.3 to 7.1 and 7.2 you must have basic knowledge on that. So if we have, see, concept is same in every version. Concept will not change, whether it is 6.3 or 7.1 or 7.2. The concept remains same. Just few settings will be slightly different. Few options will be slightly different. Okay. So that one anyway I'll cover in the sessions. And basic system requirements for installing any PEGA software is, so everyone can install this setup in your systems. So it will support all the Windows operating system, Windows 7, 8 or 10, any version it will support. And minimum RAM size is 4 GB and minimum space required is 10 GB free space in any drive, okay, like C drive or any other drive. So these are the basic system requirements. And anybody using Mac operating system also you can install in Mac also. Okay. So on any Windows or Mac operating systems you can install this setup. So installation setup process and all I'll cover in tomorrow's session. So now I'll open the software once. Okay, before opening this setup, see, once we install this PEGA PRPC software, it is going to create three icons in the desktop. One is startup icon. So startup icon is to start the server. Okay, so startup icon is to start the server. And other one is login icon. So login icon is to open the application. and another one is shutdown icon. Shutdown icon is to once the work is done, you can close the server, okay, by using this shutdown icon. So three icons will be created in the desktop. Startup icon is to start the server, and here remember this server we are not going to connect to any external server right now. So as part of the configuration, it will open internet server. The connection will be internet connection. Internet server will connect, means no need to have any internet connection to use the PEGA application. Without any internet connection only we can log into the application and we can work on the application. So it will be working under the internet server in the whatever the setup we install, it will work on internet server. And directly once the server is started, you can log into the application and we can work on that application. And generally PEGA contains two editions. In the real time means when you use the software in the real time. So right now in your systems, if you want to install, you will be installing personal edition software. We used to call as personal edition software. And in the real time companies, you will be installing enterprise edition software. So there is no difference between these options inside the tool. What are the options we have in personal edition? Same options you'll get in enterprise edition also. But what is the difference is, I told you, in the real time companies will be when you use the enterprise edition, all the database access and server access directly you'll be getting from the PEGA system sectional server. Okay, what is the application server access and database access directly you'll be getting from the PEGA system sectional server. Depend upon the project requirement, which database is required and which application server is required, they can directly get access from the PEGA system sectional server. But in the personal edition, what they will do means they'll give one default database and default application server. So here no need to connect to any external server, right? So as part of the personal edition setup, they are going to give one default database and one default server. Okay, so the default database you will get in the personal edition software is PGSQL database. See, no need to have any knowledge on the database, guys. Any database if you use in the real time also the browser is same. Okay, so the default database installed in the personal edition is PostgreSQL, or we can also call it as PGSQL. And coming to the server, application server, in all the personal edition servers, the default server is Tomcat. Okay, so these two things you will get by default in the personal edition. But if you go with enterprise edition, in the real time when you work on the enterprise edition, you can select any database and any server. Means depend upon the requirement, project requirement, any database and server, they can get the access directly from the PEGA system sectional server. Okay, so that is the only difference. Apart from that, once when you when you open the application, the options will be same both in the personal edition and enterprise edition. The options will be as it is same without any change. What are the options we are going to see in personal edition, same options you'll open in the you'll get in the enterprise edition also. Okay, so only difference is the database and server access by default you'll get in the personal edition, but there directly they'll depend upon the requirement, they can choose one database and server from the enterprise server. Okay, that is the only difference. And here see how to start the application, and means that is how to open the application. Means there is icon, this is the three icons related to 7.2 version: startup icon, shutdown icon and login icon. So if you want to log into the application, means first we need to start the server. So double click on this, it will open two command prompts, then it will load all the server information. It will load, it will take around 2 minutes time it will take us to start this server. And once server is started, you have to minimize these two command prompts, you should not close them. If you close this thing, then server also will close. Okay, it's internet server, Tomcat server by default. And once the server is started, we have to click on the login icon, and this PEGA application it will open in a browser. Okay, so maximum we'll be using Internet Explorer, we'll be using. not only IE browser, it will support all the browsers in your system. Okay, whether it is you can open it in Chrome, you can open in Firefox, okay, Opera, Safari, any browser it will support. So, but maximum will be using IE browser in the real time because it will support all the style sheets and everything. So everything will open perfectly in the IE browser. So if you want to set, you can set the default browser as IE if you want to open this PEGA application. Otherwise, if what the default browser is there, you can open in that one. And at the along with the server here, database also will automatically load. Okay, actually the server is started now. Okay, click on the login icon. Just few seconds. Actually, you'll get a message like the reload in some milliseconds. It will show this message. Okay, so when you get this message, it is ready to start. Okay, so ready to load the application. Actually, my server so much data is used, so it will take some time in my application. Suppose when you install the setup for the first time, you don't have any info, any data will not be there. So it may take 1 minute time only for you because in my server I'm having so much data is there. So it will take some more time compared to when you install the setup freshly. It will take only 1 minute time only it will take. And it also depends upon the RAM. Okay, if you have a powerful RAM and the processor also depends. Okay, if you have a powerful processor, it will open within 40 seconds, 50 seconds also it will open. So everything depends upon the system configuration, RAM, and also the data, the memory used within this server. Okay, in my server, maximum so much memory is used, so much memory is used, so that it will take some more time here. And only this setup only will install along with this server. Database is also configured in this server. Okay, so again there is no need to separately start the database. When server is started in the backend, database also will load in the backend. Okay, so whenever we share, database is also loaded in the backend. So when you open the application out directly, database is ready to use. Okay, when you open the application, right, database is ready to use directly. So again, no need to physically start the database. Okay, automatically database also will load along with the application server. So see, server is loaded, and we can see the application home page. So we need to enter the user ID and password in order to log into the application. See, Pega will have a default ID. Any version, Pega will have a default user ID and password. What are the default credentials are? Administrator @pega.com, and install is password. Sorry, password is insta double L is the password. This is the default credentials. So anyone can log into the application using the default ID and password. But the designing and all will not do in the default ID. So we have to configure a new application setup, and in that new application setup we have to start the project and all. Okay, so directly in the default ID we cannot create the new project, we cannot start. Only thing is, in the default ID why we will log in means some new application setup we have to create. Okay, new application setup we have to create. So for that purpose we log into the default ID. So that new application setup how to create and all you'll get in the next day after tomorrow session. You'll get this topic. So now, first of all, see, log into the application using the default ID and password. Manually how to enter, and password all small letters only. INSTA double L. Now after giving the user ID and password, what are the thing you are going to see is nothing but a PRPC portal. Okay, so this is a portal, and this is we can call as admin portal or developer portal or business portal. All the three are same only. Okay, so we can call it as a generally this is this portal we'll be using for the development purpose. Okay, for designing the things in this application, this is the portal we'll be using. So we can also call it as a admin. Also will admin, actually there is no separate thing called admin in PEGA. Admin is also part of development only. Okay, so just we'll call as admin portal, but there is no separate admin task will not be there, and there will not be a separate admin role also will not be there. Developers only will involve in the admin part also. Okay, so admin part very 10% only will be there. That one also mostly automatically it will be generated. So in the admin part only 5% only will create. That is also task of a developer only. Okay, so even that small part is there, right? That admin part, that will also done by the developer only in the real time. So what is the admin thing and all, I'll show it in the coming sessions. So this is the tool. When you open the application, this is the things you'll get. And we can also call it as, I told you, right, PEGA Designer Studio. You can see the name here, PEGA Designer Studio. This entire thing we used to call it as PEGA Designer Studio, or we can also call as PRPC platform or PRPC portal, which is used for designing the applications and deploying the applications. Okay, and inside this all the features are inbuilt. So we'll be learning all these, means all the design we are going to cover in this portal. So in tomorrow's session I'm going to show you the what is the purpose of each and every option inside the application I'm going to cover, and from the next session we'll start the practicals. Okay, so from these sessions will be daily in the same time, so Monday to Saturday. Okay, so daily is 7:30 to 8:30 session, 1 hour session. After that, if you have any doubts, some 15 to 20 minutes time, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, so daily 1 hour session will be there. After that, so some 15 minutes will be there for the doubts clarification. Okay, and you'll get the recordings of these sessions daily, and you'll get the software you can install. You can set up, you can configure the software in your laptops. Okay, and you can practice. Okay, so all the recordings you'll get for these sessions, and not only this, so you'll get all the documentation material, because for PEGA you cannot find any materials in the online. Okay, so any reference material or on topic, on each and every topic, if you need any material, means I'll be sharing them. Okay, and also certification material, how to prepare for the certifications, and what notes you have to prepare for the certifications, resume preparation. Actually, today I'm not feeling well. Maybe my throat is also not well. Okay, so tomorrow I'll continue. So all the resume preparation. So everything will be done from my side. Okay, all the projects and all. So what are the projects you have to keep in your resume? So everything will be given by me. And how to write the certifications, what certifications you need to write, all the certification information. So everything I'll update you. So these sessions will be from 4 to 5 weeks it will take. Okay, so Monday to Saturday. So maybe holidays, if there are any festivals are there, holidays will be there. Monday to. So any questions if you have, you can ask me, guys. Apart from this, if you have any questions, you can ask. Yeah, Vamshi, you know, Vamshi, Kiran, Sushma, Rajesh.